Hello everyone and welcome back. This is layout update number 5. I know I've been gone for a while and haven't made any videos in about 5 months. To be honest, I had school and a bunch of other crap to do for a while, and Christmas I decided to buy a bunch of stuff and start working again. As you can see, it's a little bit messy. I've been working here for the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, pretty constantly when I can, when I'm out of school, and I have acquired some things over Christmas and done quite a bit of work that I think should have been done a while ago, but didn't get done, but is now mostly completed. First thing I'll start off with is the rock face and tunnel portals. As you can see, I have it painted different shades of gray and whatnot. The blackish area is a coal seam. The little bits of brown you see in there, people might ask, well, that looks kind of random and stupid. Well, I was driving past a rock cutout that we have near the highway about half an hour down the road, and every so often I would see brown patches pop up, and that was due to iron or whatnot in the rock that would oxidize and turn a reddish brown colors, and that was every so often. So I decided to add some of that in there, give it a little breakup of all the grays. I have got the tunnel portals in. They are secure, glued, and all weathered and detailed. Next step I'm going to do is probably get ready to mask off the track and start actually doing some greenery. But that is this side. I'll get back to the front side here in a minute. I'm going to walk around here, show you the other side. This is the other side. I've not completely finished doing what I'm going to do here yet. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a little bit of water running down through there or something. I have no idea. I'm pooling down in there something. But most of this is probably just going to be grassed, and I'll just detail it when I get to the point of putting in grass and ground cover and whatnot. Let's see. I don't know if I showed you, but this corner was a test. Probably in the last video I showed you. I did get wiring a little bit hooked up here. Got a power pack from like old cell phones I've got. Here's some of my stuff. I picked up a new coarse turf light green. Give some detail. I'll get into that in a minute. I got some bushes and some static grass. I got that stuff for scenery. As you can see, I have finally put in my railroad crossing, complete with rock, hard, all sloped, and this road to the mine and the road to the engine house, I'm not going to touch them yet because I did just spray them a couple hours ago, and I want that to fully cure overnight and probably into the middle of tomorrow, till that's nice and hard. And I did paint underneath that, so I didn't have to use so much of the ballast, because I do plan on putting it completely up to my mine over here as the base, instead of dealing with that freaking drywall mud. That stuff is beginning to be a big pain in the ass. I mean, it's just messy and it's a pain. It gets everywhere. So I'm just going to paint around that, and I'm just going to pile it up and then glue it in place. Just what I'm going to do, because it's a lot easier. I'll move over here to these. I have started experimenting with decaling. Now, as you can see, you can still see some of the clear because of the glare. I tried the flat. Sometimes it'll come out nice, sometimes it ends up just a little bit. If you get light on it, you can see where the clear plastic, vinyl, whatever behind it is. Not that big of a deal to me right now. I mean, I know I probably didn't do it 100% correct, but it's my railroad. Oh well, it doesn't bother me. This is just set in place temporarily. I do have it rigged for lights. I do have light on the inside, but I don't have it hooked up to work right now. Well, the wires are kind of just down through the table, so I'm not going to light that up on this video. I got a new wheel cleaner from Woodland Scenics, Tidy Track. Works good. I've cleaned every one of my engines. Picked up one of these little bright boys for cleaning track. That has improved my track at least 50% from what it was. But what I've really done to the track was I don't know if it's on this one or not. Let me find it right here. You can see this. I soldered the rail joints on both sides on at least 65 to 75% of all the joiners. That way it gave it a more solid connection. And then I should just say I did every corner. Every corner of the layout has feeder wires running to them, so it doesn't lose, so it doesn't, voltage drop isn't as bad, but it's definitely improved my train running tenfold. I mean, I would recommend, I don't care what kind of track you have, if you have any kind of layout that you plan on keeping for more than a year, solder that thing. It is going to save you so much headache. I'm telling you. Here is a little experiment. This was a very old, like 70s, 80s Tyco. I believe it was a Tyco. It has pretty decent little detailing for a Tyco, though. Swift boxcar. It was gray and it was crappy and is missing the Walkman top and a ladder over here, but I just wanted to experiment. I stripped it all down to bare plastic. And it was kind of like a milky white plastic. It was kind of crappy. And scrubbed it down, let it dry, primered it, then went back over with a brown gloss enamel, and then put two Pennsylvania on it, one on that side, one on that side. I'm going to get some trucks and put on it just because I think it's kind of neat. But it's probably not going to be a thing I'm going to run all the time, just a little, because it was my dad's at one point, so he'd kind of find it cool to haul around with my little tank engine or something, my little tank loco I have here. Not sure if I mentioned to you, I did have one engine that went on me, one of my steam engines from Bachman. It, I don't know what happened to it. It just kind of finally quit and died on me, and I bought it used, so who knows how bad it was when I got it. But I ripped out the fireman and the engineer, and I set them in there, make it look a little better. I did rip this entire thing apart, cleaned it, redid some stuff to it, runs a little better. That's most of the stuff I've done to the layout in a little while. Oh, I forgot one thing. The big giant piece across the top that comes off that allows me to get on the inside of the track, as you can see, I have nixed that plan. I have now created a pull-out piece like that allows me to see the inside of the track. I think it is just a lot easier to slide that in place and have this little gap instead of a ½ to almost 3/4 of an inch gap at one point. I'd rather have this little tiny thing, less than 1/4, maybe even 1/8 of an inch. I think it's a lot easier. I think it'll look a lot better once it's all detailed and ground covered and everything. Last thing, yesterday, from the day that I am filming this, I received a little present in the mail. And you may have caught a little glimpse of it here while I've been walking around. And I told you I was getting into decaling a little bit because I purchased a brand new Bachman Berkshire. And I got the unlettered version because I do want to do this in Pennsylvania. I know there's going to be those people out there that are going to say, well, that's not prototypical because Pennsylvania never owned any of these. Now, I know that. This is my railroad. I can do what I want. I like this locomotive. I like Pennsylvania. I want it in Pennsylvania. I'm going to decal it in Pennsylvania. It may not be right. It may not have every sticker that the real one had, that the real nickel plate had, or the Pierre Marquette had, but it's going to be a Pennsylvania, one way or another. Now, it may have a Mars light and a front headlight, and no Pennsylvania Keystone logo on the front or a round logo on the front that the Pennsylvania sometimes used. It's just going to be a standard Berkshire front. But I don't care. It's my layout. It's my railroad. I like this locomotive. I like the Pennsylvania, so it's going to be a Pennsylvania locomotive. I do want to put some people in there. I really would like that. And I don't understand why the inside of that is green. I might have to paint that. I realized that. Now, out of the box, I did get this locomotive. It was really nice. It needed some braking in. It was a little jittery at first, but after running it for about 20 minutes, it straightened itself out. It's nice and smooth now. One thing I did experience with this loco was when I got out of the package. I don't know if anybody else that's ever going to watch this has had this problem. This little dome here actually popped off. It was broke off. It was not glued properly, apparently, because I seen where the glue mark had pulled off. So I just took a little bit of rubber contact cement and put it around and put it back on, and there's no cement popping out anywhere. So I think it looks good. Quick fix. No, it doesn't bother me at all. And these things come in like 6, 7, 8, 10. I don't even know how many different configurations that they have, but they have like 3 different front pilots that you can get. I have this little tiny one that they sent me. You can get different boiler fronts. This one has the Mars light, which I personally think is pretty cool because it is really bright. That LED in that thing is 10 times brighter than any locomotive I've had from Bachmann with a headlight. I don't know if you can see there's a little builder's plate. The bell, which is cool. The bell does swivel. Like that. I think that's a pretty neat little feature. The marker lights, I don't know if you can see it or not when the camera's lights on. They're painted white on the inside. It has a drawbar instead of that freaking snap-in thing that I had last time. Pretty nice coal load. It has a little dent in the front where you can see. Here, let me see if I can get it here. It's like a little dent where the coal would be going down. I thought that was a nice touch. And I think the bigger locomotive, I like the 8 drive wheel configurations. I think they're pretty cool because they're bigger locomotives generally. I like it. It just fits with the whole coal load. Now I know these aren't prototypical to that wrong time period completely, but I have 3 of them because I run them with that. Once I get rid of that, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Maybe buy another diesel. I have no idea. But I just run them for now just because it's something to run. But that's about it. I've made a lot of progress in the last couple weeks. I plan on doing more. I have to get to the hobby shop either this weekend, probably won't be this weekend, but I'll try this weekend or next weekend. Hopefully next weekend. By next weekend would be nice. I do need more scenic glue, as you guys can see. I had a whole bottle, and that's what I have left. Now this is, it's bigger than the little Woodland Scenics bottle, but that is not much out of the whole bottle. It's maybe a quarter, maybe a sixth of the bottle. So I need more scenic glue. I'm going to need probably almost 2 more bottles to spray everything down, because I've got a lot. I think the coal mine has turned out pretty freaking cool. I'm going to do that up, get this all in place. That'll probably be one of the last things I'll be doing is putting that in place. Everything else will be scenic, grassed, everything will be nice. And then that'll be the final thing to do. Once everything's set up, I'll glue it in place and then put the rock up to it, and that'll be it. I'm hoping to have this thing done before I leave for college next fall, or this fall actually. It's 2015, so yeah, this fall. Planning on having everything done. Lake hasn't made any progress, of course, because that's one of the last things you do along with buildings, because you don't want any turf or anything on your water. But I think it's going to turn out really nice. I really do. I do plan on, if I do get enough money, I have acquired a little John Deere biplane. It was, my grandma bought it a while ago at a tractor show, so she thought it would be kind of cool, and it's about the exact scale